I went over to a friend with my bicycle. It was dark because it was night. That is usually when it gets dark, because that is when Allah covers the day with the night, which is a veil, as everyone knows.
Okay, so he clearly is twisting Quranic verses. Verse 39:5 says, He makes the night go into the day and makes the day go into the night. This means, in Ibn Kathir's tafsir, he has said, He has subjugated them and He causes them to alternate without ceasing, each seeking the other rapidly. As he says, He brings the night as a cover over the day, seeking it rapidly. In the next verse he uses regarding the garment, the night is a garment in a sense that it covers and hides things.
And for some reason, I left my bike outside, unsecured. And guess what? When I went back outside, my bicycle was gone. I was frustrated at first and wondered who would take my bike. But then, it became very clear who took my bike. Because everyone knows who steals bikes, right?
Let me guess, it was David Wood who came to your house with his hammer, smashed the lock, and stole your bike.
Demons. Yes. Arabian desert demons known as jinns.
Okay, so first of all, jinns are not desert demons. Okay, I don't know where you got this from, but it's clearly wrong. And you said you know Islam, but you fail with this? It's actually funny because he does not even provide evidence for this claim of his.
And made of smokeless fire, even able to fly and ascend through the skies, to listen to Allah's high assembly with the angels, just to be shot at with stars, stole my bike.
Devils are bad jinns, but people, humans, can also be devils. Allah tells us that He has adorned the lowest heaven with the heavenly bodies for those among the people of the earth who look at it. The stars and planets in the sky give light to the people of earth, as Allah says, and indeed we have adorned the nearest heaven with lamps, and we have made such lamps as missiles to drive away the shayateen, and have prepared for them the torment of the blazing fire. And indeed we have put the big stars in heaven, and we have beautified it for the beholders, and we have guarded it from every outcast shayateen, except him who steals the hearing, then he is pursued by a clear flaming fire. And the clear burning fire is in this case a meteorite or a falling star. It's not an actual star, and Ridwan is failing to understand this. And this is aimed against every rebellious shaitan. This means every insolent and impudent devil. When he wants to eavesdrop on the news in heavens, a piercing fire comes and burns him.
Sometimes they even kidnap children. Don't ask me why. Maybe because they can't have children themselves, because even if they are hot because they are made of fire, it is also very hard to have sex if you are made of fire. Very unfortunate.
This is not true. They can have communities. My hand is made out of flesh, and your face is made out of flesh. If I slap you, you would still feel the pain. My hand and your face are both flesh.
Holy Prophet Muhammad once said the following: Cover your utensils and tie your water skins and close your doors and keep your children close to you at night, as the jinns spread out at such time and snatch things away. When you go to bed, put out your lights, for the mischief doer may drag away the wick of the candle and burn the dwellers of the house.
Correct translation for this hadith is actually cover your vessels, tie your water skins, close the doors, and collect your children near you, because at night jinns spread on the earth and roam around, and turn off the light of the candle when sleeping, because the animal, the rat, might pull it and light the whole house on fire.
Repeated in other narrations. In some of them, the creatures are referred to as devils instead of jinns, but that wouldn't make much of a difference to the point. And devils in Islam may be evil jinns. It's a whole crazy world of fantasies. Invisible beings made of fire are out there at night wanting to steal your things.
Ibn Hajar rahimahullah said concerning this first hadith, the wings of the night refers to when the night comes after the sun has set. The words let them go, Ibn Jawzi rahimahullah said, rather there is fear for children at that hour, because the najasa, the impurity that the shayateen, the devils seek, is usually present with them at that time, and the dhikr, remembrance of Allah, that would protect them is usually absent from children. And when the shayateen spread out, they hang on to whatever they can hang on to. Hence, there is fear for children at that time. The reason why they spread at that time is that they are more able to move at nighttime, because devil forces are more prone to assemble together at night rather than the day.
What about supernatural beliefs? The problem is that what is being described here is ridiculously absurd. It would require that in reality, objects disappear in our real world for completely inexplicable reasons, and that we have no other option left but to explain that they were stolen by jinns or invisible beings. Think about it, we have cameras today everywhere, and you don't see things floating through the streets or from porches at night. I mean, I haven't checked if there is such footage, to be very honest. This collection of hadith, reports of Muhammad, is in Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, and several other sources. It is deemed authentic, reliable by Islamic standards. It's right there together with so many other things that Muslims have no problems believing in, that form essential practices in Islam today. The narrator is a trusted Muslim companion of Muhammad, responsible for many other hadiths. And I really want to ask, does anyone today really want to believe that Muhammad told people to watch their belongings and their kids because they could be snatched by those bastard jinns? And that this Muhammad was also a holy prophet who only spoke truth and wisdom delivered to him by Allah through the angel Gabriel.
So it's pretty much the same ahadith he has listed here. There are some slight variations, of course, which say that when an hour passes, you can, let your child go. You have to say Bismillah when you close the door and when you cover your utensils. But there is one issue here, and the issue is regarding the ahadith he has listed here of Abu Dawood 2598. Sunan Abu Dawud chapter 14 goes from hadith number 2313 to 2476. So it does not exist, he made this up. And let's just say he was speaking about chapter 15, 2598. Well, too bad. It speaks about setting out on a journey and what you say on a journey. It does not even mention the jinn.
Now, a Muslim may say that Muhammad was talking about devils, and that he was maybe referring to evil people who steal things, because they may also be called devils. But that is extremely unlikely, because he could have just said people, but he clearly says that jinns go out at night for an hour, like that is a phenomenon that happens every night for a fact. Even if this was referring to evil humans, that would mean that there was a common problem of people going around at night stealing things and kidnapping children in the Muslim state of Medina, and that Muhammad advised people to watch their belongings and go inside instead of doing something about that, which is, as said, very unlikely. Devils in Islam may be evil jinns. Devils in Islam may be evil jinns.
This guy is literally contradicting himself. The devils go out at nighttime, sunset. Doesn't mention that they are going out for an hour. The hour is meant for the children and the animals. When an hour passes, you can free them. But as usual, this guy is a very contradicting person, so I didn't expect much for him, to be honest. The devils in this case is referring to the evil jinns, but it can also refer to the humans. But you're assuming that it's a common problem, which is not true, by the way, because there are no records or mentions of people kidnapping kids, animals, or whatever. So shut up. And it is possible for jinns to kidnap humans, but it's very, very rare. For instance, at the time of Umar radiallahu anh, there was a man who was kidnapped by the jinn and stayed with him for 4 years. When he came back and told the people that some mushrik jinn had kidnapped him and he stayed with them as a prisoner, then some Muslim jinn launched a campaign against them and defeated them and brought him back to his family. This was mentioned in Manar al-Sabil and elsewhere. The isnad was classified as sahih.
A Muslim could say that those jinns who come at night and steal your belongings and kidnap your children may as well be snakes, or jinns in the form of snakes. Which, of course, yeah, makes more sense than an invisible being coming and stealing your belongings. But why do those snakes come at a certain time, at a certain hour, and then go after an hour again, and then it is safe?
As I mentioned before, Ridwan is deliberately twisting the hadith by saying that the jinn come at a specific hour, which is not true. What would be more dangerous, something that's invisible or something you can see? His logic is so flawed that he does not even understand what he's saying.
In fact, Muhammad described that they eat animal feces and bones, which is why humans should leave those things alone. I'm just glad to know that jinns eat the poop of my dog in my backyard. For some reason, I still have to go and pick it up and throw it away. Maybe they don't really like the poop of my dog because it is my dog and it's not halal. I don't know. I have to look into that. I will try to converse with a snake if I ever see one in my backyard.
There are hadith that tells us that once the believing jinn had asked Muhammad ﷺ for what food they can consume, Muhammad ﷺ said that for them bones of animals slaughtered in halal way would be food, and for their animals the dung of human animals would be their food. The bones, as mentioned above, are filled with meat when jinns are to consume them. As for the non-believing jinn, they also consume food. When we eat and drink with our left hand, when you don't say Bismillah over the food you eat. Today's science can neither deny or prove the existence of jinns.
Many Muslims today suffer from a fear of jinns. It's very common. And modern psychology is gladly finally addressing this issue.
Speaking of psychologists, shouldn't you visit one?
In the description of the actual conversation, which are where you can see research papers. Sorry, I don't feel very well. I have an anxiety issue